how to figure out how to do special projects. It's help time with Mike. Do 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 do. It's help time. Friends, thanks for watching. This is Total Teen Makeover room with the trim wall. Get ready. We have this ugly beige color. We've got to make this thing look ready for a teenager, a little girl's room. But we're going to do something special on here. So you're going to need some items. You're going to need a compressor, a nail gun, a saw, some caulk, some paint, a level, a pencil, a tape measure. You're going to need some tools. But I'm going to show you how to do this trim on the wall. And I'm going to show you right now how to figure out how much to get and how to lay it out. So get ready for it. Here we go. Layout of the wall that I want to use. We have it's 9 foot high. It's 11 foot long. So what we need to know now is what's the exact center of it. Well, you just divide. We're going to be playing with inches this whole way, all right? So 11 times 12, you find out how many inches that is. Divide it. Focus. Divide that in half. Same thing with 9. 9 times 12 inches. And then divide that in half. So what you'll find out is half of this actually comes right here, 66 inches. Half this way turns into 54 inches, okay, in mine. So we know we want to make a square right here in the very center. And we're going to make this 2 foot by 2 foot. Then we'll have 16 inches come off of it. And then we'll go to another 2 foot. We're going to do the same thing, 16 right here. So as we're building these squares, we need to know how much material to get. So this is easy. We have our 66. We're just going to go 6, put it in our calculator, 66. That's half. Since these are 2 foot, this is going to be 12 inches. That's going to be 12 inches. 66 minus 12 minus 16 minus 24, and then whatever's going to be left. This actually ends up being 14 inches. That's close enough. That's just fine, because the eye is going to say, hey, this makes sense to me whenever you stand back and look at it, right? So you do that, and you'll know how many boxes you're going to have, and then do the same thing with your up and down. You'll figure that out. You'll say, look, this is at this point right here. This is 54 from here to here. 54 minus 12 minus 16 minus 24. What's left? About 2 inches. So that'll make sense. We know that that's the same at the bottom. Therefore, now we just count it up. I mean, what's 2 times 4? Everybody knows this. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. So you're going to have 9 of these in here, right? So over here on the side, we're going to say, well, we have 9 times 8, 72. And what we'll do is divide that into 12 foot pieces. So we know that we need to get 6 of those, right? And then the same thing with the 16 inch pieces. We count how many of these that we need. And then we know that there's 144 inches. There's 144 inches within a 12 foot stick. So we'll weigh that against it. So I need to get 2 sticks of it. Of a 1 by 4 by 12, we need 2 plus these other 6. So we need to go inside, we need to get 8 1 by 4 by 12s. And what I do, instead of carrying around a big goofy tablet, I take a picture of this. I'll take a picture and then I'll walk in so I can remember that. So there you go. That's how you figure up something like that really quickly. If I can teach y'all anything, always take a piece of scrap. You don't know who used your saw last. Take a piece of scrap, cut about 4 foot off of it. What we're going to do is cut this at an angle, and we're going to check and make sure that our 45s still work out, that we don't need to make any minor adjustment to the saw, because you don't want to go cutting a whole bunch of this and it end up being wrong or the wrong angles and it's all cattywampus looking. All right, so I'm going to teach you something that not very many people know. because they just kind of mash stuff together and glue it and nail it and stuff. I'm going to teach you the math behind this. You may not know this. All right, get ready. This is why it was worth watching this. This is why we have over 8 million views, maybe one day. Look, let me bring you over here to the sawhorses. Here's my sawhorses for today. Now, what you can do is you can take something like a Freeman square, or this is a speed square, and you can check that angle as you put them together. And you would say, oh, well look at there. That's close enough, like I've heard before. Close enough, caulk it. It's all right. Look, all sides are touching this, the speed square. But really, it's not. It's not square. If you remember this 1.44 rule, watch this. Get the handy dandy tape measure. You like the handy dandy. That's a dad thing. That's what we're all taught when we have kids, is to say handy dandy. This works on anything. So take your tape, 12. All right. And then we'll go 12 over here. And if you measure, if you do the math of 12 times 1.44 equals, I wish this thing would quit focusing like this. Sorry, guys. 1.44, you get 1728. So you should have 17 inches between those marks, and take 28 times 16. And that should give you at about 17 and a quarter. So that's how you do that math. 28 times 16, it'll tell you it's close to a quarter. 17 and a quarter, you pull from here to here. Hey, we're pretty close. But how can we make it even more accurate? Pull, go to 24 inches. 24 inches, measure across there, line to line, and you should get, if we said 24 times 1.44 equals, then we end up getting 34.56. So if you do 56 times 16 is 9/16. So you should have 34 and 9/16 inches between those marks. And when we actually do that and we actually pull our tape, I'm trying to do this one-handed, but if I hooked it over here, if I took the edge of my tape, whichever side that you're going to use, and come over here to this mark, 34 9/16 really puts us, should have that kind of a gap on it. So we've got a little bit of tweaking to do on our saw. We're going to create a jig, because guess what? Production. That's right, because we got things to do. This butt's right up against it. So now we can mass produce these angle pieces. Right on it. Now don't get caught up in it and cut things the wrong angle. You gotta remember to keep flopping it. About every 4th or 5th one, check it. Because you don't know if this moved, what's moved, and you might end up having a bunch of wrong cut stuff. This is supposed to help, but this is not the perfect answer. So just keep checking it and make sure it's the right length. If you've got one of these handy dandy, if you've got one of these lasers like this, they do no good. You'll spend so much time trying to get this thing set up, try to get it to shine exactly from like this point to hit that one. What good is that? I mean, look at this laser line. It's an 1/8 inch. Why? I've got plenty of paint. I've got levels. Why wouldn't I just go ahead and set a level on top of my first board and continue on from there? Maybe this thing will help in the future of this project, but for right now, if you've got one of these, you're just gonna waste time. This is how it starts. So we have our dot in the middle. See that? So I went ahead and pulled 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches, and started working. You put in your top piece, each side, but leave it a little loose. Put the bottom in, and squeeze it together and make sure everything's nice and fine. Find your middle. Make you a middle line here at 12 inches. This is 3.5 inches wide. So take your tape and measure over 1 3/4 inch, 1 3/4, and then that'll tell you exactly where to put it. All right, pencil time. Got the level. So what you do is you're gonna set your level up there and check your bubble, make sure you're all right. Give myself a little guideline that I would like to go by. And then also, we're gonna make it plumb. Follow that. We want to be tight right up against this side. Come down, right? Now that's a guideline. Now watch this. So I'm gonna take 2 pieces. Take 2, right? It takes 2. We ready? So this goes up here. We ain't got time to sing. That goes up here in this corner. This goes right up here. We're gonna check it. Make sure we're good and tight, because it's more important that we're nice and smooth right here on this, and that we're level at the top. We get our gun. Now, I'll tell you a trick. See, you're probably wondering, well, where are all my studs at? Well, what you can do is if you shoot, not just straight in the wall, but I'm going to use my hands to show you. If this is the board that we're looking at, see this board? We're going to nail this board to the wall. Shoot at an angle crossing each other. Point your gun nails at an angle, because still doing that. Cross each other in the wall, and it will hold it that way when there's no stud. Shoot it at an angle, and that's what will hold it on there. And you'll hold it on there good too. I mean, it's on there, and there's no stud right here. Try to hit the studs that you can. You just do what you can do. Then just keep going. Also need to make sure you get some good caulk, because there's going to be little indifferences in your, oh my gosh, focus. So I use DAP. It's cheap. Make sure you get white. Make sure you can paint it. It's got to be paintable. Got to. Cut a little tip off of it there, and just come in here and just squeeze right and take a wet rag over your finger and wipe it off. Everybody knows how to paint. This is not about how to paint. This is about how to put trim on a wall. And voila, you got it. Look at there. You got it all on here, symmetrical. That means that it looks the same on both sides. Everything worked out good. Look, we got a little bed in here. Right here in the middle. It tells us where the center is too, because you remember, we found that dot right here, and working backwards. Right there in the middle. Now I still have to cut in a little bit around through here on the insides, because I went with satin paint, and we all know satin paint stinks, because it'll show where the sheen is and where it isn't. So I have to recut in around everything. But that's how you do it. Look at there. We got this whole thing done for less than $75. This whole wall was done. You can do it too. Follow the movie. Remember 1.44? And if I can help you in the future, keep following this page, and you'll see some of the cool projects, and I'll show you the secret tips and tricks to do that. Hit that follow button down there. Make sure you like this, and we'll see you next time. Do 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 do